Pickering. Harris by Platt. Forsyth put into difficulties. An early cross from Platt. Cascarino! Oh, it's a great header. Callaghan follows in. That produced the sort of save that we've come to expect, really, but this was by far the best moment of the first half. Authentic Cascarino and the real Shilton. Oh, that's a fine ball by Nielsen, just the sort that Daly thrives on. Ormonroyd's in the middle! Aston Villa have fashioned a direct attack that's left Peter Shilton sitting and reflecting. And Derby County a goal down. Kent Nielsen's pass was exquisite. And it was the driven cross from Daly, and Ormonroyd forced it in.
George Graham virtually conceded the championship after this, Arsenal losing their unbeaten home record. In truth, they'd already lost their way. John Bumstead, the scorer, on his 300th appearance for Chelsea, their 7th away win.
Coventry started the day 4th in the table. They were at home to Sheffield Wednesday. Franz Carr in for the injured Trevor Francis for Wednesday. Plenty of individualism from him, and more of the same from Dalian Atkinson here. His shot out off the post, but thumped back in by David Hurst. Wednesday one up after 16 minutes, but Coventry level just 12 minutes later. Mickey Ginn on target, set up cleverly by Kevin Drinkle. Coventry, who'd hit 4 goals at Forest last Saturday, were on the receiving end in the second half this time. John Sheridan, a particular problem for them. This was the crucial goal made by Sheridan and scuffed in by Nigel Worthington. 2-1 to Sheffield Wednesday, on course for only their 2nd away win of the season. And for once they found goals easy to come by. Only 6 in 14 away games before this one. And midway through the second half, Sheridan finished a move that he'd started. Franz Carr with the centre, 3-1 to Wednesday. Very disappointing for Coventry, and 8 minutes later, they were in trouble again. Sheffield Wednesday so quick to the ball now, really relishing their supremacy. Here's Carlton Palmer, and Worthington free on the left. In the centre, Dalian Atkinson completing a win to remember for manager Ron Atkinson on his return from his honeymoon in Barbados.
The First Division's top scorers were quickly into their stride. Matthew Le Tissier opening his box of tricks early on. And that goes down as an own goal by Eric Young. With Ian Andrews deputising for Tim Flowers in goal, Southampton looked vulnerable to Wimbledon's brand of trickery. Young atoning, Andrews all over the place. He was again, actually, 7 minutes later. Perhaps Ian spent just a bit too long in Scotland. That was John Scales from close range. Wimbledon laying claim to the entertainers tag with their 9th goal in 3 games to build up a 3-1 lead. Wise's cross and Fashionu's flashing header to bring his personal tally to 5 in 3. Down to 10 men, Southampton making it 3-2. Le Tissier, too quick for Wimbledon and almost too quick for us, celebrating his call-up to the England B squad. He also played his part in the equaliser, putting Rod Wallace through. Curl panicking somewhat. He didn't think it was a penalty, but the referee did, and that's what counts. Le Tissier keeping his cool for his 22nd of the season. Southampton just too short of the 60 mark in the First Division.
After 2 consecutive defeats, Nottingham Forest were soon in difficulties again at Selhurst Park. 12 minutes gone. Charlton's Andy Peake with a neat pass for Robert Lee, and Paul Williams grabbing his 12th goal of the season. It took this mistake by Joe McLaughlin to present Forest with a point they scarcely deserved. Nigel Jemson intercepting, and in the end, Steve Hodge hooked the ball in to take his season's haul to 12. Charlton kicking themselves, 1-1 at Selhurst Park.
Sad, but one of Everton's top-scoring games of the season really doesn't count for all that much, other than a place in the record books for Graham Sharp, his 106th league goal for the Blues, equaling Bob Latchford's post-war record. Palace were pretty woeful by all accounts. The only team in the bottom 8 not to improve their position at all. Tony Cottee making it 2. Everton hadn't won for 5 games, out of the race, out of the cups, out of sorts. The goal highlights suggest they clicked. The collective view from the press box suggested otherwise. Cottee again at 3-0. Norman Whiteside has been one of their successes. A perfect cross for a perfectly timed Whiteside run. But really it's roll on next season.
At Loftus Road, Queen's Park Rangers back in league action after their 2 attempts to beat Liverpool in the quarter-final of the FA Cup ended in gallant failure. Tottenham failing to catch Roy Wegerle offside. And then Wegerle setting up Simon Barker. Colin Clark pipping Ray Wilkins to the rebound. Wilkins and Barker were outstanding in midfield alongside Andy Sinton, whose splendid solo goal showed why he's been selected for the England B squad. Spurs 2 down right at the start of the second half. Then it was Barker's turn, put through by Clark, and Simon making it look simple, his 3rd goal in 6 games. Tottenham just capitalised once on a Rangers lapse of concentration straight after their 3rd goal. Gary Mabbott against the post, in by Paul Walsh. 3-1 to Queen's Park Rangers.
This was the key match in relegation territory. Andy Dibble's handiwork once again to City's detriment, giving Luton the opportunity to forge in front through Danny Wilson's 72nd minute penalty. That's what he wanted to do to Gary Crosby. But Luton have only won once on their plastic pitch since early November. A better source of encouragement for City than their own pitiful away record. Richard Harvey picking the wrong time and place to jive with David White, and that was most definitely a penalty. Back for City in his first full game since mid-January. Clive Allen salvaging a point and looking forward to linking up with Niall Quinn as the run-in hots up at the bottom.
Without Tony Cascarino, Millwall managed to end a run of 4 consecutive defeats at Norwich. They looked on course for victory when Wesley Reed's corner was headed in by Teddy Sheringham after 59 minutes. 3 minutes later, both sides were reduced to 10 men. Robert Fleck and Steve Wood came to blows. But Norwich hit back within the laws of the game with Andy Townsend's equaliser with 11 minutes remaining. Millwall, though, still got their first point under the Bob Pearson regime.
Stopped by Venison. Alton. Finding Beardsley, away on the left, in a lot of space is Barnes, and he's onside. United have been caught out here. Will they be punished? They are by John Barnes. 1-0. And here's Beardsley once more. McMahon following it up. Rush. Penalty given. Anderson claiming it was outside the box, but George Courtney ran straight to the penalty spot. John Barnes against Leighton. It's 2-0 to Liverpool. Phelan. Oh, that's a good ball played to Russell Beardsmore. A few red shirts are up, including McClare. Oh, a fabulous save by Grobbelaar. The game from this angle too, because he catches the volley so well, pushes it up,